back to another live stream. I'm sure everyone saw that poor attempt that we tried about 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. Not good. We were working on upgrading the live stream. We're working on upgrading a lot of things that we can do to it to improve the streams for everybody. But honestly, that wasn't too good whatsoever. But, we gotta try. When we get some more people in here, we'll get into really what happened. But I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Regardless, we will have a guest on here. Regardless, we will continue the live streams per usual. But I tried for many hours to get that to go good. But let's wait for a couple people in here. But yeah, let's share this link with some people. Actually, you know what? The old link is still popping up. Let's refresh on YouTube, everybody. Let's refresh. I'm still full of energy. I can keep going all night, guys, so we don't get tired. But here, let's go ahead and share this link with some people. Let's put this in the debate channel. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody out there. Let's get some people in here. I'm just going to send this to everybody. A lot of people are having Trump derangement syndrome. We had Christmas happen. They had Trump derangement syndrome on Christmas. That was honestly sad to watch. But, man, if it doesn't stop on Christmas, when does it stop? Does your Trump derangement just never, ever stop? Does it never stop? Hello, guys. Welcome into another live stream. I'm sure everyone saw the attempt. We were trying to use Streamlabs. We were trying to use some streaming software, but it didn't go as planned, and we spent about 3 to 4 hours just prepping for that, and it was a failure. But that's what happens. Sometimes you fail. You just got to keep pushing. You got to keep going forward. That was going to be such a good stream, though. I had so many good clips planned. But you know what? Hello. You know what? We're still going to keep trying anyway. It's working now, but we don't have the StreamYard connected. See, it wasn't perfect. It was all stretched out and whatnot, but we had some funny Somali videos to play. But yeah, you're right. Still W Trump, though. Still W Trump. We still got a coffee here, so still W coffee. But can we get some MAGA comments? That is a weird-ass question to ask a grown-ass man. No comment, sir. No comment. But smash that like button. If you want that kind of question to be answered, sir, you need to drop a big super chat. Not sure what that means. That is a very weird question. I'm not responding to any of that kind of stuff. If it ain't a super chat, you're definitely getting no response. Defend billionaires? Billionaires are the ones that give you all your jobs. If it wasn't for the millionaires and billionaires, you wouldn't have a job. So maybe you should start defending them. Seems like someone was a little bit butthurt over my comments about the millionaires and the billionaires. The millionaires and the billionaires pay their fair share of taxes. I'm sorry that you're mad that they pay 90% of the taxes. You barely pay any taxes and you can barely get by, but that ain't the billionaire's fault. I'm not responding to you, weirdo. If you want me to answer you, you gotta drop some super chats. The millionaires and the billionaires pay a lot more than all of us in taxes, actually. Yeah, literally. They're in the highest tax bracket, which means they pay the highest amount of taxes in personal income tax. I mean, is that so hard to understand? Is that really so hard to understand that billionaires and millionaires earn their money and when you do nothing but sit home all day, you don't earn shit? Is that hard to understand? FBI resources to Minnesota as Director Patel calls $250 million fraud scheme tip of a very large iceberg. Well, the $250 million isn't even really the real numbers. That was just the money they stole for autistic children. That was just the money they stole from autistic children. When it comes to the actual number, you can look at, sources, a post from Newsmax that was made earlier today. They reported that $9 billion was stolen in Minnesota, and they're saying that it could be double that. So basically, we got a rough estimate of between $9 billion and $18 billion. So, $18 billion. Now, I got a meme about that to show you guys, but I don't know if these Democrats can handle a little bit of memery. Since we couldn't play videos because of technical difficulties, we'll play a little bit of memes. Hello, everybody. Hold on, let me fix my hair. Okay, here we go. Since we couldn't play the videos, we got a little bit of memery. Average Somali IQ is 68, yet they defrauded Tim Walz's administration out of $250 million. The retard got out-retarded by retards. The retard got out-retarded by retards. Sorry, I couldn't see it because of the comment section, but... Hell yeah, casual racism. Is statistical facts racism? I forget what the guy used. He didn't say racism. He said it's not... I forget the word for it. But this is a fact. The average IQ is 68. 68. Tim Walz, $250 million. The retard got out-retarded by retards. Like, this ain't a thing of racism. This ain't a thing of racism. This is just truthful facts. And man, I wish I could have shown that video. Maybe tomorrow morning. I'll wake up early in the morning to try to fix the setup, to try to show you these amazing videos. None likes Trump. First off, learn how to spell. No wonder you're a Democrat. Second off, the entire country loves Trump. That's why they voted for him. That's why he won by millions and millions of votes. Sir, I would debate you any day of the week, and you will get crushed. Tell me one single reason we need illegal alien criminal scum in this country. You will lose this debate 100 times over. 78% approval rating. Highest approval rating in presidential history. Presidential history. So put some respect on Trump's name. Put some respect on Trump's name. Put some respect on Charlie Kirk's name. You Democrats got destroyed in all of your debates. Rather it was Trump or it was Charlie Kirk. They got, he got out retarded by a bunch of retards. What can I say? That's what I'm talking about. MAGA average IQ is about 140, but I'm talking about the illegal alien criminal scum. And if they are not scum, then why did they break a bunch of laws and enter the country illegally? Everyone's human. El Chapo's human. Jeffrey Epstein was human. Does that mean that they're good people? Like, you gotta be kidding me here. You gotta be kidding me here. You Democrats are really okay with $9 billion worth of fraud. $250 million was just the money they stole from the autistic children that was supposed to go towards feeding them. You sickos. You fucking sickos. The only one lying is this bozo right here. You really want to go over a list of Tim Walz's lies? You really want to go over a list of his lies? Okay, you know what? I got a list of his lies since you wanted to go there. First off, this is our buddy Tim Walz. There we go. What do you guys think about that? What do you think of old Tampon Tim? Does he look handsome in this photo? Is that your future president? Is that your Democrat leader? Is that your Democrat leader? Is he a Democrat leader? But here we go. Here's a list of old Tampon Tim's lies. Retired as a commander, sergeant major. No, you didn't. No, but I carried an M16 in combat. No, you didn't. No, but I did deploy to the Middle East. You were deployed to Italy. But wouldn't it be so cool if I was deployed to Italy? I mean, to the Middle East? Yeah, it would be cool, but you're just a wannabe. You're just a poser. Whoa, your headline up top is wrong. Trump did not expose anything. People like Nick Shirley and independent journalists like him did. Stop fueling his ego. I mean, I'm glad you at least admit that the Somalis that this man empowers are stealing our money. But the Trump administration is about to uncover a lot more. And the last time I checked, this stuff has been going on since 2019, 2020. We are now almost 6 years later just finding, about it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Listen, I'll fuel Trump's ego because you should have an ego. If you're really the best president, one of the best presidents in the last 80 years of this country. But shout out Nick Shirley, man. He's risking his life out there. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. No, I didn't drop out of high school. I graduated early. I graduated a year early, unlike you dumbass Democrats. But here, let's go over to all President Trump's accomplishments. Look at all these accomplishments. And you know what? There's many, many, many more. Many, many more. Many, many more accomplishments. I mean, don't forget about the 9 wars President Trump ended. Smash that like and subscribe button. If you guys have any questions, comments, I'm all up for answering them. We're getting a lot of people spamming in the chats. So if you had something you want 100% response rate, you're welcome to drop super chats. I know you Democrats think it's so funny. Donald J. Trump is bringing world peace, and you deranged Democrats, all you did was kill, murder, and steal. Trump's bringing world peace. We were killing, murdering, stealing. We're stealing from American citizens. Yeah, it's so damn funny, you damn goofy-ass Democrats. But smash that like and subscribe button. Let me know if you guys are Democrats or Republican. I honestly want to know. MAGA, that's what I'm talking about. Spam MAGA or spam Democrat down below. And Trump's going to have a long life. And if you're getting quote-unquote tortured, you're going to have to experience a lot more of that because Trump isn't going anywhere. Trump is not going anywhere. Oh, we got a whole bunch of Democrats in here. Come on, MAGA, let's push forward. Where's the support, MAGA? Keep spamming MAGA, fellas. Keep spamming MAGA. We got the midterms coming in 2026, and we cannot let these people even for a minute think they're going to gain any seats under President Trump. That's what I'm talking about, MAGA coming back strong, baby. Coming back strong. Oh, Trump won't be behind bars in 2028, but he will be president in 2028. Hey, Ozzy. What's up, brother? How you doing? Listen, if you're ignoring every single war Trump ended and you don't know a single war Trump ended, you're just delusional. You're just smoking the same Democrat crack Hunter Biden cooks up in his kitchen with his home recipe. There's not much to tell you. There's not much to tell you. 1776. That's how much money Trump gave the veterans. Not the veterans, the active duty. I think some veterans actually got it. If you were within the last 4 years were in the military, I think you got the 1776 check. But Trump met with Zelensky today. Honestly, I'm curious to see how it went. I'm not 100% sure how it went, but it's Donald J. Trump. He's trying as hard as he can, guys. He's at least trying. Biden didn't even try because of Biden's shitty Afghanistan pullout. He told the rest of the world that we're a bunch of weaklings, and that's why Russia invaded Ukraine. Because they saw we had the weakest president in Putin's lifetime, and you know what Putin said? Fuck this, we're taking that shit. It's all because of the Afghanistan pullout. I'm telling you, right after it was one disaster after another. I don't remember which war started first, Gaza or the Ukraine situation. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Afghanistan pullout that was a failure. Then that triggered Russia to invade Ukraine because he saw how weak America was at the time. Then the Gaza situation. Now Trump is having to clean up all this mess, all this Democrat mess, all this Democrat slop. Name an illegal alien immigrant that didn't get due process or that was an American citizen, because there's not one single one. We got a sealed border. We cracked down on criminal illegal aliens. We secured a Gaza ceasefire even though they're still doing acts of terrorism. We lowered gas prices for American families. You know, we have crime suppression in Washington, D.C. and other places where we swooped the nation with the National Guard. And we're going to keep fighting in court. If we lose a court case here and there, we're going to keep fighting in court. If we got to keep fighting in court to literally get the National Guard to come to certain places, we'll get it. We'll make it happen. It says clear as day in the Constitution that the president has the authority to bring in the National Guard. Clear as day. In the Constitution, it says clear as day, not a single illegal alien immigrant got deported without due process. It's clear as day in the federal laws, okay? Now, the funny thing is the Democrats always screaming, the Constitution, the federal laws. They only care about that when they can make shit up. When you actually read them the laws and actually read them the Constitution, when they're actually cornered, they got nothing left to say. All they got to say is, oh, that Constitution should be changed. Those laws should be changed. Maybe you're right, or they don't even admit that they're right. Trump's the GOAT. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Can we get to 50 likes, guys? 50 likes. NATO is finally paying more of their fair share. NATO is one of the people that have been propagating these wars. NATO is one of those people that worked with Jeffrey Epstein to do that human trafficking, to do that narco trafficking, to do that weapon smuggling. Why do you think Epstein had all these army, all these CIA, all these FBI t-shirts and clothing and all this kind of stuff? You think that's just a coincidence? Or did you actually look into those Epstein files instead of looking at this man and blaming him for it? He did nothing regarding any PDF activity. It's the Clintstein files. It's the damn Clintstein files. NATO is a traitorous organization. Yeah, $20 to show my hairline? Sure, drop a $20 super chat. I'll show you my amazing hairline if you want to see it that damn badly. But smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button. What allegations? Yeah, there is still a war in Gaza. Palestinians killing other Palestinians. Like the scum they are. Like the scum they are. But smash that like button. Listen, we've been over what wars he ended. You've heard what wars he's ended. NATO should be abandoned. Any country currently trying to join NATO is just going to propagate themselves into a war, unfortunately. Unless their government is smart enough to stir away, then they're going to end up in a war. They starved their own citizens. They fed the warmongering terrorists in Palestine before they fed the women and children. And that is disgusting. I don't know how you can defend a terrorist state. I'm going to just name you one war Trump ended. I'm not going down the whole list. I'm not answering every single comment unless you guys drop a super chat, then you get 100% response rate. But one of the wars he ended was Azerbaijan, Armenia. That was a great job of President Trump. He got both of those countries to come to the White House, shake hands, and sign a peace agreement. And if that isn't brokering a peace deal, then I don't know what is. UK flag clash of as foreigners banners fly, citizens push back, woke policies reshaping Britain. Man, they're going to have a civil war to really reshape anything in Britain. It's long gone. It's long gone. It is long gone. What's bullshit? Be more specific when you speak. Gas, eggs, beef, you name it. It's cheaper. That's right, sir. That's right. Israel, you want to talk about Israel, don't you, Muhammad? I see your name, Muhammad. We love Israel. Israel is one of our greatest allies, and I'm yet to hear one single damn reason why we shouldn't support Israel when Palestinians are genociding their own people. 10 minutes after that damn ceasefire, 10 minutes after that ceasefire, they started killing their own women and children, and you're screaming that these terrorists are these terrorists are literally the ones that are, the victims? No, 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 no. 2 ribeyes for $6.99. We got steaks cheap. That's Arkansas prices, I'm guessing. Tennessee, $7.99 for a top sirloin, man. $7.99 for top sirloin. Doesn't the South have the best prices? Milk, $2.75. Man, what can I say? How can you deny the economy is booming? We got all these doomers out here. Unfortunately, my generation is undoubtedly more lazy than Generation X, more lazy than generation, the boomer generation. I mean, it's just sad to see. They're more entitled, they're lazier, and they're more doom and gloom. All they say is how it's impossible to make it. When the economy is booming at record like we've never seen before. We've never seen this many jobs available in the country ever in history. Ever. We have the most jobs right now than we've ever had. We have the most employed people and we have the most available jobs. At the same damn time. At the same damn time. Transgender people do marginalize themselves. That is true. And same thing can be said about a bunch of other communities, to be honest with you. Bullshit, stop speaking the truth. You're pissing me the fuck off. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I see you getting mad out there, but I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm just trying to speak the truth. But let's see what's going on with ground news. Today, Lewinsky met with, Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Man, we talked about Epstein. If you got something specific to talk about Epstein, we can talk about it. Sources for what? If you don't like Fox News, what kind of news do you like? Genuine question to all the Democrats out there. What do you want to talk about Epstein? Trump's innocent. There's nothing to talk about Epstein. Like, you Democrats are brain dead. What do you want to talk about Epstein? We talked about every single thing that we looked into, every single question we were already asked about the Epstein situation. We answered every single one of them. Commenting Epstein does not get us to talk about Epstein. There's nothing to talk about. Forever President Trump. What picture? There's no picture of Trump kid diddling anybody. So what picture? What are trans rights? I just don't understand. What are trans rights? If you're talking about human rights, then yeah, everyone has human rights. Why does it matter if they're trans? I know you Democrats will never stop talking about Epstein because you want to ignore your own party of PDF activity. You want to talk about Epstein. That way you can ignore the fact that the Democrat Party is obsessed with kids' genitals and cutting them off and giving children freaking hormones and killing babies and abortions and drinking baby blood out of the fetuses when they abort the baby and when they get the adrenochrome. And that's why you want to keep talking about Epstein, because you don't want to talk about your own PDF file party of Democrats. It's not because you actually have a question about Epstein. It's not because you have a legitimate question. It's not because you actually want to talk about something. It's not because you're interested in something. If you were interested in Epstein, if you were interested about anything, you would have dropped a super chat. But you're just in here speaking a bunch of bullshit nonsense. Cut the bullshit. The Democrats are kid diddling. Cut the bullshit. The Democrats are kid diddling. Cut the bullshit. Bill Clinton got caught on that island. I mean, it's that damn simple. Trump congratulates, Thailand and Cambodia leaders on keeping that ceasefire, man. That's fantastic. Another war that Trump ended. Man, you lame-ass Democrats have been saying World War III for the last 2 or 3 years. Oh, now we got a bunch of Bill Clinton defenders. I see ya. I see you defending Bill. You guys can at least subscribe if you're going to start defending PDF file Bill Clinton. Nah, I'm just playing. I don't know if he's a PDF file or not, but I'm going to use the Democrats' logic. I'm going to use the Democrats' own logic. Let's keep it real. We all know what Bill Clinton's up to. You're right. Jesus and God are the only people to answer to. $2.30 is undoubtedly lower than last year. Do you own a car? Do you fuel your own car? Bill was actually a womanizer who broke a federal law by having sexual relations in a federal building. That's a federal law? Russia. Epstein. That's been out of the Democrats' mouth for the last, 12 or so years, basically. Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays, guys. Show that love. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, fellas. We're America first, but at the same time, we're not going to get rid of our allies. What we should get rid of is 176 countries receiving federal dollars. But Israel deserves those federal dollars. That's one of our greatest allies. And all these people in here, Israel. Fuck. Excuse me. All these people in here, Israel. The truth is, you're a bunch of Nick Fuente supporter racists. Anti-Semitism is racism. These same Democrats that are screaming about racism and transphobia are the same damn Democrats saying that they hate Jewish people. That's disgusting. Free Palestine from Palestinians, man. It's unfortunate they keep killing each other. $1.99 fuel today. Where is that at, dirty money? Where is that at? Man, that's what I'm talking about. Free Palestine from Palestine, man. If you support Palestine, I don't care if you're Jewish. You gotta be an idiot to support, people that are literally killing Christian and Jewish people. You gotta be, shit for brains. Free Palestine from Palestine. Everyone pray tonight that Palestinians stop killing their own women and children. Because they're picking up 3-year-old girls like this and using them as meat shields as they walk in with an AK-47 pointed at an Israeli's head, unfortunately. They're using that 3-year-old girl as a meat shield. It's truly disgusting. Truly disgusting. Free Palestine from Hamas. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Oh, here we go. They had nothing to do with JFK or 9/11. Get your head out of your ass and stop watching Nick Fuentes. Let me ask you guys something. Do we have any Nick Fuentes supporters in here? We are Charlie Kirk, sir. We are Charlie Kirk. I mean, they're the ones that call them meat shields. They call that 4-year-old Muslim girl a meat shield, and they pick her up and they use her as cover fire from bullets. So go talk to your radical Islamist buddies. Don't talk to me. Go talk to your Palestinians. I mean, don't talk to me, brother. The violence that Israel does is obviously in self-defense because they were attacked first. But Israel is pretty much innocent, man. They should both stop the violence, but it's quite obvious that Palestine is the aggressor. I mean, if you guys don't think Palestine is the aggressor, you must be smoking crack. I don't know what else to tell you. Lay off that Hunter Biden pipe. Open your eyes. Palestine is a bunch of terrorists. Palestine isn't a country. Palestine isn't an ethnicity. Palestine was never a country. Palestine is nowhere. Palestine is technically inside of Israel because Palestine is not a country. Legally, Palestine belongs to Israel. Free Palestine isn't moral. It's more about feelings. So there are people getting oppressed and killed, and Israel is the only country who can have freedom of religion and gender. Let me read that one more time, a little bit slow for the people in the back. Free Palestine isn't moral. It's about feelings. So there are people keep getting oppressed and killed, and Israel is the only country who can have freedom of religion and gender. Literally, Israel, you can be a Christian, you can be gay, you can be LGBTQ. You can't be gay in Palestine. Does anyone knows what happens if you're gay in Palestine? You get free flying lessons. So how the hell does Queers for Palestine even exist? How does it even exist, brother? I'm lost. I'm confused. Now listen, I'm not saying that, those women and children should be eradicated. We should save those women and children. I'm all for saving people's lives. But what we shouldn't do is protect radical terrorism. What we shouldn't do is say that Palestine should become its own country and separate from Israel. You've never been to Israel. You don't know any Israeli people. You think everyone's evil because that's what you read in the media. It's not true. When are you going to talk about the Epstein files? Do you not care if the president is a rapist, hepaphile? Well, I already talked about the Epstein files. You should have dropped a specific super chat. What do you want me to talk about specifically in the Epstein files? The Michigan Lake story is fake. It's a hearsay. Some taxi driver said that he heard Trump say this. They reported it to the FBI, and then the FBI said, this is an obvious fake story. We're not going to investigate. We're not going to investigate a hearsay of a person that we can't even confirm that was the taxi driver for Trump. So please tell me something about the Epstein files I should be concerned about or talk about. Because we've already looked through the Epstein files for over 10 fucking hours on this channel. And there's not a lick of evidence that Trump is a PDF file. If there was any kind of evidence, it would be all over TV. It would be on every single news channel. So I don't know what to tell you. If you want me to investigate Epstein, please tell me what to look at. Please drop me a super chat on what to look at, what to talk about, what to investigate. America gained 7 million new jobs, more than 3 times government experts' projections. Family income increased nearly $6,000, more than 5 times the gains during the entire previous administration. Let me read that one more time for the slow Democrats in the back. America gained 7 million new jobs. One single year, America gained 7 million new jobs. 3 times as much as government experts' projections. Family income increased by $6,000 on average. More than 5 times the gains during the last 4 years of the Biden administration. And you're out here crying that you can't get a job at McDonald's? Are you kidding me right now? How much am I getting from APAC? $0, man. If there's somewhere I can sign up with APAC to make money, please let me know. Favorite chips? I don't know, man. I like spicy chips. So the spiciest chips I can find at the time, I guess, would be the answer for me. Man, I wish I got $7,000. I wish. If someone gives me the email address for Israel, someone gives me the email address for APAC to sign up for that money, I will sign up for that money. But I've been supporting Israel for free this entire damn time. Smash that like button though, guys. Let's get to 50 likes right about there. I'm asking you guys, what about the files? If there's something specific in the files you want me to research right now and tell you about it, or maybe I already know about it because I've talked about the Epstein files for like 10 hours after the release. And we've been sifting through every single file for countless hours on live stream. If there's something that I should know about the Epstein files, drop a damn super chat. I can talk about it. I can read it out loud. But all I'm seeing is photos of Bill Clinton. I'm not seeing any evidence of any kind of PDF activity. Jeffrey Epstein actually funded the Democrat Party more than the Republican Party, so Epstein is a Democrat. 90% of Epstein's political donations were to the Democrat Party. Why would Trump censor the majority of the files? Trump didn't censor anything. He wasn't in charge of releasing the Epstein files. Some files were redacted, and as you've seen, if you haven't seen the videos on them unredacting those files because they found out how to do it themselves, Trump's name wasn't mentioned in there, sir. So it doesn't really matter anymore about the redacted files because we've already looked through those redacted files, about 80% of them, a high majority of them. I actually don't know the percentage-wise, but we did look through a good portion of those redacted files. Trump's name was not mentioned on there, sir. Where are those videos? Where are those pictures of Trump kid diddling people? 1 minute you guys say there's evidence of Trump being a kid diddler in the files. Then the next minute you'll literally say, oh, Trump is covering it up. Which is it? Is he covering up? Or is there evidence in the Epstein files of him kid diddling? Make up your mind. These things don't go together. You can't say 1 minute he's covering up and the next minute that the Epstein files exposed him. That's contradicting statements. Do these Democrats not understand what contradicting statements means? Like I said, if there's something so spectacular, something so amazing that I'm missing in the Epstein files, you guys should show me. I want my mind to be proven about Donald J. Trump. Was he a womanizer? Did he have 10 girls on the side when he had a wife? Probably. Was he a PDF file? Absolutely not. Did Trump treat women amazing? Absolutely. He treated women amazing. He never beat on them. He never, raped anyone. He never did any of that old bullshit. From 1989 up until 2003, Epstein donated more than $140,000 to Democrat federal candidates and committees, over $18,000 to Republican. That's interesting. So Epstein donated over $140,000 to the Democrat Party. Not a single person concerned about the Democrat. Would you support a third party releasing the files? First off, what third party? Second off, go ahead, release it. I want you guys to release everything. You're too hyper focused on Trump. If you want to hear my actual opinion piece on it, then you should have listened earlier to the live stream. Epstein was involved with the United Nations. He was involved with the FBI. The FBI got a report of Epstein filming child porn in 1998, and they did not act on these reports. It's in the Epstein files. Read the damn Epstein files. Stop being hyper-focused on looking at Trump. There's nothing about Trump and the Epstein files that's convicting. You should be focusing on what Epstein was really up to. Epstein had connections to the FBI, to the CIA, to the Secret Service, to the United Nations, to the European Union. He was out there in Europe trafficking women. He was out there selling narcotics. He was out there moving weaponry. But you don't want to talk about the full story of Epstein. All you care about is this man. When it was Christmas, when it was, Christmas Eve, you were still talking about Trump crying about how bad of a person he was. But you can't tell me one bad thing Trump did. But if there's a third party that wants to go out there and release these Epstein files, go ahead, release it. I don't care. Release every single thing you have. I don't think anything related to Trump is going to come out. Maybe there's people that Trump know that are in it. I don't know. From what I've seen, there's a couple people that Trump knew that were in the Epstein files. But was he involved in any PDF activity? Absolutely not. No. What about the Trump mobile scam? The Trump phone was supposed to be released in November. It's a couple months delay. How are we going to say it's a scam? Just a couple months delay, fellas. Just a couple months delay. Yes, I'm serious. Trump is innocent. He was Mossad, but he was also CIA. He was also FBI. He was everything, really. He was involved with everyone. He was even the United Nations. He was European Union. All these people are tied together. And the Epstein situation's a million times worse than you could ever expect. You might actually want to do some research instead of screaming about this and that. But I really don't know what to tell you, fellas. We don't have to say F anyone, honestly. Everyone's going to have their opinions. Do I think Democrats are demented when they talk about child mutilation and saying cutting off a 4-year-old child's penis helps their mental health? Yes, I think they're fucked up, and I think they're the PDF party. But do all Democrats support that? No. Just the majority of them do, unfortunately. What's up, guys? What's up, chat? No, I said he's Mossad, not the Messiah. The truth behind the Epstein thing is that it's 100 times worse than the Iran-Contran, when they were smuggling drugs, when they were selling drugs, when they were selling crack to the black communities. When they were literally selling drugs from other nations to fund foreign wars during the Iran-Contra, this whole Epstein situation is 1,000 times worse than that. Yeah, I don't believe that you're a Republican. If you were a Republican, tell me this. Did you switch to a Democrat? Because there's one thing for sure. I do know people that were Republicans, but none of them ever switched from Republican to Democrat. Because you can't switch from Republican to Democrat. You can say that you're not politically affiliated. You can say you're an independent, but a Republican cannot switch to a Democrat. That's never going to happen. You're not going to magically say, oh, we should all pay 70% taxes. We should mutilate the kids' wieners, make them take puberty blockers, hormones, all these bullshit drugs. It's crazy. Like billionaires, millionaires already pay their fair share of taxes. They honestly pay too much taxes. Israel is not our problem, guys. It's not the main issue in America today. I'll ask you guys out there in chat, what is the main issue today that America is facing? Smash that like button, though. What's the difference between neoconservative, paleoconservative, and Trumpism? Well, neoconservatives are more people that are pro-war. Paleoconservatives, I don't think they're so pro-war. And Trumpism, I really don't know what to tell you on Trumpism. Trumpism just means you pretty much support everything Trump does, I guess. But I really don't even support everything Trump does himself. But Trumpism isn't even really a political party. But hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me give you a better answer. 1 second. Neoconservatives are actually not really that conservative. I'll just put it that way. Because what do they want to conserve? They want more government spending and more budget stuff like that. I mean, I believe in a strong military too. Paleoconservative is more like no government intervention. And neoconservatives, I will say one thing about neoconservatives, they don't like tariffs either. Neoconservatives do not like tariffs. They like free trade and they like war. Basically, neoconservatives just like making money any way possible. Paleoconservatives, they're actually truly more conservative. That's more me. I'm moderately, paleoconservative. Trillions of dollars in the military, barely any infrastructure and healthcare. We have one of the best infrastructures in the world. We just passed a new healthcare plan. The new healthcare plan is fantastic, truly. Hey, that's amazing, LP. That's amazing. I'm so happy EBT people have to reapply again. Do they really have to reapply again? They should have to. But smash that like button, guys. Can we get the 65 likes? That's awesome, LP. A lot of people are making a lot of money on their Trump. What is the difference between libertarian and communism? Nothing? Oh, man. That's 100% wrong. I mean, libertarians believe in more free market. Communists believe in a lot more restrictions. And they believe in government control. So I don't know where you get that from. But that's my basic breakdown on it. I'll go into it in depth a little bit. But let's go ahead and see what we can figure out. Let's see what we can really figure out in the details. Maybe there's something I'm missing. He came up with a new healthcare plan. Trump came up with a new healthcare plan. Yeah, communism is a classless society. That's not a part of it. So let's see. Libertarianism, private property, free market, voluntary exchange, no state intervention. It's literally like the complete opposite of communism. Literally the complete opposite. Libertarians and communists are on 360 spectrums, 180 spectrums. So I have no clue what you're trolling with that comment or what. But smash that like button. I mean, it seems like some of you guys are bots. They keep spamming and spamming and spamming. LP, please stop spamming, brother. What do you want me to talk about AIPAC? AIPAC is ran by American citizens. You probably don't know what AIPAC stands for. Trump will be president in 2028. You probably can't name me one thing that AIPAC does that you disagree with or what AIPAC even stands for. Average Nick Fuentes supporters. Don't just spam no more AIPAC. Tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me what AIPAC stands for and tell me why you disagree with it. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button. He doesn't have to run a third term. He's already going to be president in 2028. I mean, a 1776 Christmas check is better than nothing. No more AIPAC. Okay, why don't you like AIPAC? Please give me some reasons. Tell me what AIPAC stands for. Tell me why you don't like it. If Trump becomes president in 2028, that means he broke the Constitution. What if the Constitution is ratified and amended? Then that means the Constitution wasn't broken. And Trump doesn't have to become the president in 2028. He got elected for a 4-year term in 2025. That means he won't even leave office until 2029. So Trump is going to be president the entire year of 2028. Like, is it hard for you pea-brain Democrats to figure that out? He's going to be president in 2028. He's going to be president in 2028. He came into office January 20th, 2025. Yes, there's an election, every 4 years. 2024, we had the election. He came into office January 20th, 2025. That means he has 4 more years. So yes, Trump will be president in 2028. If you can't figure it out after what I just told you, you might want to go on Google. Because the president has 4 years on the dot. They come in January 20th and they leave 4 years later on January 20th. Is that so hard to realize? If I'm wrong, Jermonte, go look it up on Google right now. If I'm wrong, you better come back here and drop a $10 super chat and apologize. Because you dumbass Democrats don't even realize how the presidential election works. Yes, he will be president until January 2029. Thank you. Someone has a couple IQ points. Maybe he would run another election. Maybe he would win. That was a Fed surrection. He didn't incite any surrection. Favorite branch of the U.S. military? Mine is the Navy. Are we only talking about the 3 branches? Or are we allowed to say stuff like the National Guard, the Coast Guard? Because those things are technically part of the military. But if I had to say one that was part of the 3 branches, I'd have to say Navy as well at the moment, because Trump just made a bunch of new gold battleships, gold-painted battleships, and he called them Trump battleships. Man, I would love to be on one of those Trump battleships if I was going to join the military, that is. And anyone out there that served the military, I thank you for your service. Much appreciated. But if I could pick like the National Guard or, anything like that, the National Guard and the Coast Guard is also very interesting. I have a friend that's in the Coast Guard in Florida. Very interesting job. Seems like a very good pathway in the military. So does the National Guard. But if I had to pick one of the 3 big branches, I'm probably going to pick the Navy as well. The Air Force is interesting as well. Air Force is very interesting. A lot of people make fun of them and call them Chair Force. Hey, thank you for your service. Once again, you can keep spamming, but I don't get paid by Israel. I wish. Where do I sign up? All right, I'm just going to mute you, Joe. I'm just going to mute you. There you go, Joe. What if we get Charlie Kirk class aircraft carriers after the General R. Ford class carrier? Man, that would be badass. That would be badass, brother. That would be awesome. You know what? I really wish that we get that. That would piss off the liberals too. And I'm tired of people insulting Charlie Kirk. You know, I had a lot of death threats before Charlie Kirk. Pretty much every single day. Not every single day. Every single week, a couple death threats. But now with the whole Charlie Kirk situation, ever since Charlie Kirk happened, it's like I get death threats every single day. I don't give a damn. I stay well protected. Charlie Kirk class aircraft carriers, brother. Air Force is the best because they had me and Chuck Norris. All right, brother. I'll give you a W for that one time. That's pretty funny. Total lie. No one threatened me. Okay. You think so? Just watch the chats and you'll see plenty of Democrats threatening me. Every single live stream, pretty much. Maybe not every single live stream, but every single day. Let's ask the chats. Do any Democrats in here want to take me out? Go ahead and make your threats. We're here for them. Charlie Kirk doesn't need to be your hero, but you shouldn't be disrespecting his death. What happened to Charlie Kirk was horrible. He's not our hero. MAGA needs to stop making him out to be anything. He's not a normal American, brother. He died as a recognized American hero. You, unfortunately, will likely die with zero notoriety, including from your own family and friends. I'm not even talking about fame. Trump will be president in 2029, but as a vice president. What are you talking about? Trump's going to be president in 2029 until January 20th. But if Trump runs as vice president in 2029 and J.D. Vance is the front runner, I'm all behind that. Then they could technically swap out. Erica Kirk, 2029. I can get behind that. What did Charlie do to make him a hero? He made a societal change. He made a societal change out there. He went to university to university. He brought back the values that our founding fathers loved so much, which was the values of debating and discourse. Democrats don't want to have debates and discourse anymore. He helped the President of the United States get elected. He helped record high voting numbers. He created a multi-million dollar organization, a company. He left a legacy. He was bringing in almost, I think, around $250 million a year from his company. That is called a legacy, sir. You might not know about that, but that's called a legacy. And that's what Charlie Kirk built. And rather you're Democrat or Republican, you can look to this man and say, this guy was a good man. And he was out there to, debate people and have honest conversations with people and try to change their minds. And he was a huge influence on the youth. He told people about building, families, getting married young, reading the Bible, having good Christian values. I mean, what did any of the Democrat politicians do in the last 40 years that were better than what Charlie Kirk did in the short time on Earth? Go ahead, tell me one single important thing any dirty Democrat politician did in the last 40 or 50 years. Hey, appreciate it, Germonte. Appreciate it. You're trying to discredit a man's legacy. Trying to discredit another man's legacy when you built nothing for yourself or your family is truly pitiful and truly laughable and despicable. If you haven't built a legacy for yourself, you shouldn't be out there talking about Kirk's legacy when you don't have one yourself. Literally, for these Democrats out there saying Charlie Kirk left nothing, la-di-la-di-la. Let's not forget, January 2020, no, January 1st, 2025, to December, the last day of December of this year, nothing in your life has changed. You're still a jobless ass Democrat. You still haven't done anything with yourself. You still don't have any plans for your future. And you're still wasting your time away smoking that weed or drinking that alcohol when you should be getting to it, when you should be grinding. So what else do I gotta say? The same Democrats judging Charlie Kirk's legacy has literally wasted an entire year, and they don't have one single thing they can say positive that they did this year for anyone or for their life. They can't say, oh, at least they had a good job this year and they made a little bit of money. They can't say, oh, they helped their family or they helped their loved ones or they helped their friends. They can't say any of that. From January 1st to now, nothing has changed. They haven't helped their family. They haven't, contributed to society. They haven't worked towards their dreams. They haven't worked towards their dream job, or they haven't worked the job they wanted. Nothing has changed for them. It's been an entire year, 12 months. Now, all you lazy Democrats out there, this year can be different. All you got to do is repent, read the Bible, and be Christianly. And also start taking action to change your life. Have you seen the U.S. Navy strikes on ISIS on the 25th? I think I got a Merry Christmas with democracy. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Listen, we're not even allowed to defend our country anymore. Because every time we defend our country, these Democrats are start screaming, oh, I thought Trump said no new wars. What do you want us to do? Let Christians die? You want to let innocent people die? Forget about the Christian values for a second. Even if you're not a Christian, do you think innocent people deserve to die because they're literally, religious? Because they're religious, you think innocent people deserve to die because they're religious? That's just crazy. Peace through strength. You don't get peace through being weak. Just look at Biden's Afghani pullout. Because of Biden's poor Afghani pullout, Russia saw that, and they saw, you know what? Putin said this is the weakest president he's ever seen in United States history. He's going to go ahead and invade. And unfortunately, that's what happened. That's what happened. What about the innocent kids in Gaza? They should be saved. But it's unfortunate they're dealing with the other Palestinians that want to use them as, meat shields. Muhammad is a false prophet. I truly believe in the next 10 years there's going to be an Islamist party. They're either going to take over the Democrat Party and it's going to become the Democrat Socialist Muslim Party, or they're going to start their own party. There's just too much, Muslim countries with a lot of money, and there's a lot of money behind this Muslim stuff. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's going to be a radical Islamist party. It's going to come to America. The Democrat Party is moving in that direction that they're failing so badly. They either need to move towards socialism completely and just call themselves the Democrat Socialist Party, or they need to move towards socialism and Islam at the same time. We are still building the wall. We are still building the wall. I believe Trump has added a couple 100 miles to the wall this year. If Gaza doesn't want to get blasted on, then they should have stopped killing people. 10 minutes after that ceasefire, they started unaliving their own women and children because they wanted to end that war. Wall definitely helps a little bit, but I'm not going to say it's the end-all, be-all. Gaza is not completely at peace, but what should we do? What should we do? Listen, I picked up my Bible today. I went to church. And if you hate this country so much, then leave. Gas prices are lower on average. What's up, Ilya? How you doing, brother? It's a fact that Hamas starved the women and children in Palestine, if you want to call it Palestine. It's not a country, though. But of course, the radical Islamic terrorists are going to be the first to eat in a Muslim majority area. Damn near $10 gas, at least in LA County, under Biden. I'm not in LA County, though, so nobody ask. Literally just Google. You don't even need official stats. You can just look at your gas pump. The only possible way you look at gas prices and think that they're not cheaper than they were last year, A, you don't own a car, so you don't watch gas prices, or B, you live in a blue state like California or Washington or somewhere like that. What pisses me off right now, I'm sick. I'm seeing so many dumb liberal YouTubers supporting child mutilation. Fucking sick. Yeah, that is disgusting. I honestly haven't seen that too much. I don't watch too many liberal YouTubers. So if you could send me those videos my way, I'd much appreciate that. Remember, chat, when I said free Palestine isn't moral, it's about feelings, so that their people, including children, keep getting oppressed, killed, getting thrown in the slaughterhouse. Yeah. Free the women and children out of there. We need to evacuate the women and children. You know what I say? We should just somehow get all the women and children out and just let Israel do their thing. If they want to do something when we get those women and children out, I don't care. The only people I care about in Palestine is the women and children. Because we already know who runs the family in Islam. It's the man. It's the men. Yeah, send them to the Discord, Ilya. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Palestine is imagination. Yeah, I like Israel. Do I think we can probably improve on some things with our relationship with them? Sure. Do I think we should get rid of them as an ally? Absolutely not. No, I don't want the family to be ran by a woman. Absolutely not. Double tap, like, subscribe. Men run the Christian household. Men should run every household. When you say something, your woman should listen. And if she doesn't listen, if she doesn't get in that kitchen and make you a coffee, then maybe you should reconsider your options. I was going to say make you a sandwich, but my woman's in the kitchen making me a coffee right now, so I accidentally said coffee, but same thing with everything. I can also agree with that as well, Austin. Smash that like button, though. It's amazing how naive you are. You don't believe in a false flag operation. You don't believe Israel is committing war crimes, using Angelivis, supporting when they hate our Savior Jesus. Literally, Israel is the only place in the Middle East where Christians have freedom of religion. So I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, Benjamin Netanyahu got on the internet and was supporting Christians in Christmas. On December 25th, he said, all the Christians out there, Merry Christmas, and you're welcome to come to our country and practice your religion with freedom. You can't be Christian and support abortion. No kidding. Jesus saves souls. Trump saving our country. What's up, Bowen? I saw you said hi. You probably just clicked the button again and rejoined. Christians do not get spat on in Israel. That's a myth. That's a lie. Have you ever been to Israel? No. Is Trump real? Yeah, of course he's real. You can tell me why Trump is so good, genuinely asking? Okay. Sealed border, crackdown on criminal illegal aliens, security ceasefire in Gaza, lowered gas prices for American families, crime suppression in Washington, D.C., stable unemployment and inflation, record high military recruitment. I mean, you can read. What am I ignorant about? Be a little bit more specific. You don't know where I've been. I've been to over 20 countries. You don't know where I've been and haven't been. What lies am I spreading? Pardoned ex-Honduran drug trafficking president. We made an entire video about that one. It doesn't have the most views, but it's 30 minutes long and it has about 500 views on it. And also, that was a setup. This Honduran president literally invented the drug extradition laws. He was extraditing criminals and drug lords to the United States. And then the Biden administration set him up and extradited him to the United States with the own law he made. By the way, the United States said, don't make extradition laws for drug dealers to the United States. We're going to frown upon that. That's what Democrat politicians told him. And he passed those laws and started extraditing people. And then Biden extradited him to the U.S. with the law he made and put him in prison and said he was a drug dealer. When he was prosecuting narco traffickers and he made an extradition law. What kind of narco trafficker would make an extradition law? That makes no sense. That makes no sense, sir. But you might want to go watch that whole video that I posted, and you should also go watch the Honduran president's video himself explaining it, because now he's in the United States. I believe he's under our protection. Hey, thank you for the New Year's Eve gift. I appreciate it. You can't even define fascism. You can't define socialism, which you seem to say you love so much. You can't define fascism, which you use that every single day. You can't tell me what a Nazi is. But it's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. Oh, you can pull up the definition of both, so you don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. Thank you for proving the point, telling me you don't know what you're talking about. Enough said. You don't know the definitions of it. Who is mutilating kids? I mean, Gavin Newsom said we need more transgender kids in California out of his own mouth. He said F Trump's anti-trans laws for children. We're going to keep cutting off children's wieners. We're going to keep cutting off women's parts. We're going to keep cutting off everything. We're going to give them puberty blockers. We're going to mutilate them. We're going to do what we got to do, and it's going to make them happier and end their depression. That is bullshit. There's even fake studies out there talking about 4- and 5-year-olds cutting off their wieners and taking hormones helps their depression. I don't care if a Harvard scientist, I don't care if the #1 world-renowned scientist comes out and says, oh, there's a study that says, that helps children that are confused. I don't give a flying fuck. That is bullshit. That is fake. Dems cannot shut up about pardons. Biden pardoned his whole family. His entire family. I don't care what numbers, what bullshit you give me. You cannot tell me a person that's 4 or 5 years old that cuts off their wiener and takes hormones and puberty blockers does not regret it. There's no amount of evidence you can show me. It's common sense. Of course they're going to regret it. Sick, disgusting stuff. You're welcome. Yes, cut taxes, not wieners. See, whenever you question the Democrats cutting off kids' wieners and giving them hormones and mutilating children and passing these laws, like in California, Gavin Newsom passed a law. If a minor child is wearing lingerie, the police are not allowed to stop him and investigate him because of that reason. whenever you pass stuff like this and you mention it, they say, well, why do you care about the children? Because California and the Democrats are human trafficking them. They're mutilating their genitals. They're giving them hormones. They're indoctrinating them in schools. They are making them watch transgender Netflix cartoons, homosexual Netflix cartoons. Donald J. Trump makes life hard for the party of violence and hate. Yeah, he does make life hard for the party of violence and hate, doesn't he? Doesn't he, JD? I don't know why you need proof when you're in Australia. Why don't you worry about your own country? There's proof all over the internet if you did an ounce of research. If there's a straight sexual movie, then no, kids shouldn't be watching it. You don't gotta ask me, what about straight movies? What about straight movies? Of course the answer is the same thing. The answer is the same damn thing. Australia is gone. That's what I'm talking about. Imagine your entire nation being destroyed, overran with Indians and radical Islamists, and meanwhile you're more worried about another country you don't even live in. Not only do I do research, I know people that know people. I know people that know kids that had, my friend, he has a daughter, and in his daughter's school, there was a 3 or 4 year old who got, he had that transgender surgery, supposedly, and he also did a bunch of shit. He was on hormones, watching all kinds of fucked up stuff, and he raped another student. That's what kind of fucked up brainwashing and fucked up bullshit that's going on with the Democrats. This was in a blue state. The more you dig, the worse that you'll find. I worry about this country. And anyone out there saying, don't worry about the children, worry about yourself, you're a fucking sicko, sir. You're a sicko. You should worry about the kids of this country, and you shouldn't let these demons take over. Open your eyes, dumbasses. The proof is everywhere. Hatred? You're saying I have hatred now for these people cutting off, 4 and 5 year olds, ding dongs and feeding them hormones? Yeah, I got hatred for these damn demon rats doing this shit. Yeah, I don't like them. What do you expect? You want me to like them and worship them like you do? You want me to worship the Democrat Party like you do? Trump 28. That's what I'm talking about, brother. These sick, demented Democrats. These sick, demented Democrats. Honestly, they need some mental treatment. These comments tell you what the state of this country is. Yeah, stop spamming your bullshit ideology. I'm not doing any more debates until, the coming year. But if people want to call in, if you really want to debate me live on the channel before the new year, you're welcome to drop a $50 super chat. But other than that, you can wait until New Year's. You can join the Discord. You can talk with us. You can get to know the community. But don't come in the Discord with any bullshit. But there you go. There's the Discord, fellas. There's the Discord. Nah, no vacation until the job is done. But I am going somewhere soon, possibly this week. But I'm still going to make sure I got at least enough time for a few hours every single day to come on here and spread the message. I want to message you, Ilya. I want to message you when I end this live stream in a couple minutes. But join the Discord, everyone. Join the Discord if you guys have anything to say, any comments or questions. Also, if we have any final comments or questions or super chat questions before I hop off, we can get to it as well. If not, we're probably going to hop off for maybe 15, 20 minutes and hop back on. We'll have guests. We'll have Dustley. We'll have Gandalf. But smash that like button, guys. Any final things you guys want to say before I hop off for a little bit? I'll be back on. Hey, I appreciate you, Ilya. Much love, brother. Much love. No, Trump's not going in a green prison jumpsuit. You can keep wishing and praying, but that's never going to happen. I have no clue what you're talking about, cold old biker. Trump 2028. Peace out, guys. It doesn't matter if you have money or not. You can come to this country if you go through the legal processes. And people that spend $1 million to come into this country, they're going through a background check even more heavily than the people that come here with other types of visas. You're getting an extra extensive background check and look into who you really are. That $1 million gold ticket, that does the most thorough, extensive background check in American, history. All right, guys, we're going to hop off here. We'll be back, like I said, in 15, 20 minutes. Peace out, fellas. Peace out. Short intermission. Peace, fellas. Much love to everyone, even the Democrats. Hope you had a good Christmas and a happy New Year's. Peace off. Peace out. Awesome, man. I hope everyone comes back in 15, 20 minutes. Peace out.